duplication. And I personally absolutely love this topic because it is something I am very passionate about. I'm very, very passionate about the business because it saved my family. It completely changed our children's lives, our future, truly for generations to come. We were able to say yes to adoption. We were able to increase and grow our family through adoption because of this business. So when I first started with Plexus, I had no idea what I was getting into. I didn't know what it meant I didn't even know what the word duplication meant. I was like, well, that sounds like a math term. And I had no idea truly what it meant. But as I've learned, and as I'm continuing to learn, duplication is the foundation of our business, but it is a skill set. Okay. It is simply a skill set that we can all learn. And that's the good news, right? It's not this daunting thing that some people are born with the knowledge and the skills on how to do that. And the rest of us are just up a creek. This is truly a skill set that any one of us can learn. And I would say that your business is truly 80% mindset. Okay. Truly about 80% mindset. And last week in our business foundations, Kelly went over the mindset of duplication. And that is so, so important because if we are not in a space where our mindset is strong, these skills, we're going to flounder in them. So I want you to combine the mindset and the skill set. And when you do that, you are going to be an absolutely unstoppable force. So when we start talking about mindset, belief, I want to really encourage you to begin reflecting on what your mindset is when it comes to duplication. What is your belief in duplication? What is your belief in yourself that you can lead and develop a team? Those are big areas that a lot of us really struggle with that belief. But I will tell you that everyone needs financial freedom, even if they have a ton of income, okay? Everyone needs this. Everyone needs, whether they have a lot of money and they are like, well, I don't personally need an extra paycheck, but a lot of times they want to give more. I love Sarah Marble. She funds an orphanage for over 50 children in India. Things like that of like where resources, having abundant resources can change the world. But there are so many people out there that are struggling and buried under debt, buried under this inflation, trying to figure out how they're actually even going to pay for gas and groceries this week. So when you start thinking about your business, okay, I want you to grow in belief that you can create a legacy business, okay? And that it is simply the process of finding legacy leaders, cultivating legacy leaders. To be successful in this business, you don't need hundreds of business builders. You truly only need, I would say 4, maybe 6 business builders, level 1s, level 2s that have the same drive and vision that you have. That is all it takes to get diamond. So I want to really like that. That was comforting to me when I read that. I was like, whoa, okay, I can do that. And you know what? Both of my, my husband's business that is diamond and my business, when I look at it, how many level 1s that we have that are business builders, that are leaders, it is a handful, right? So that is so comforting that we are looking for the few. Okay. We're not looking for the masses. We are looking for the few. And I'm going to show you and teach you how to find those few people that are going to be able to link arms with you and create that legacy business. Okay, we're going to start first by talking about what does a leader even look like? You have to be like crystal clear on who it is that you are looking for. Okay. Because this business, I believe with everything inside me that absolutely anyone can be successful at this business. I believe it's for everyone, but I know that not everyone will do this business. Not everyone is in the space where they are ready to grow, where they are ready to truly take on this business. So I want to help you guys learn how to look for those that are ready. Okay. So when you're crystal clear, you are going to be looking for specific qualities. Like I said, you really only need a handful of business builders to have a successful business. So what I really want you to do is look at, like, first of all, we're not prejudging anyone. We are not selecting like, okay, I'm only going to share the business with these people. No, we are actually going to share the business. We are going to cast our net wide. Okay. We are truly going to present the opportunity to every single person. But when you have a picture in mind of what your ideal leader, what a high capacity leader looks like, then you're going to be able to narrow in and really begin to find that person. Because one of the things, if you just cast your net wide and just let anybody like come in and like, oh, I want to be a leader. Okay, yes, I want to do this. You're going to find yourself dragging people, because a lot of people will say they want it, but then they don't do anything with it. So we're not going to necessarily prejudge. We're going to share the opportunity with everyone, but there are very distinct qualities that a legacy leader has. Okay. So when I am looking for a legacy leader, when I'm looking for someone I want to do business with, I want to do life with, I really want to make sure that there's someone of character, right? There's someone of integrity, because we're not just selling products, right? We are here doing life and business together. So I want to surround myself. I want to lead with people who I know have a moral compass, who have character and integrity. And that is very, very important. And to be successful as a leader, those two qualities are foundational. You have to have those two qualities to be successful. So that is what first thing I'm looking for. Then I am looking for someone that is coachable. Okay. Someone that wants to learn, someone that is eager, someone that shows initiative in asking questions. I think it's so important. Like, yes, ask all the questions. Like there is, that shows someone like truly wants to know, wants to grow, wants to learn. So coachability. And again, you might not see that, necessarily in your conversations about Plexus, but are they a coachable person? Are they somebody that like you have a conversation with back and forth? They ask questions, you ask questions, that kind of thing. Okay. Another area that I look for is, are they committed? Do they actually show up? On social media, do they show up? Are they relatively active? Now, all things can be learned, right? But I want to know, like, there's somebody that actually values commitment and values sticking with it and overcoming it. So does this person have any area in their life that you can see commitment with? Do they have commitment with their family? Are they showing up? Are they a present mom, a present wife? Do they have commitment with their church, with service, with volunteering? Those kinds of things. That's the kind of quality that I am looking for in a leader. Another area is influence. Okay. Now, I'm not talking about social media influence. I'm talking about, does this person carry themselves with a sort of confidence and influence that when they speak, like people listen to them. That is a skill set, a quality that is very, very important. Okay. That people like them, right? That people trust them. So influence is not about being an influencer on social media. It is about whether people trust them, and whether they have community, right? So that's a huge quality that I look for. And the last one is, are they self-motivated? All of my leaders, every one of them is a self-motivated person. And what I love about that is they're the people that take initiative. Okay. When they hit an obstacle, because every single one of us in this business is going to hit an obstacle, but they take initiative to figure out how to find a way around it. Or they ask, because they're coachable, they ask for help and support. So those qualities, those are foundational qualities of a person that I am looking for when I think of a legacy leader. When I think of my leaders, those are the qualities that they have. Now, each of us has a totally different demographic, right? Each of us, each person, each leader is going to speak to a different demographic. Maybe it's young moms or military moms or special needs moms or ministry families, or maybe even the Hispanic market. The list can go on and on and on when we talk about like who they're going to reach. But I wanted to list this out because for me, these are the non-negotiables. These are the qualities that I look for. Are they present in this person? Because if they are, then they have the capability of being a leader that can make it to the top of this company. So when you are looking for people, I want you to look for people that are hungry, that are showing up, that want more out of life, right? They're not just coasting by. They're not just scrolling. Okay. They are actively participating in life. They have a growth mindset. Okay. Those are the people that I want to work with. Those are the people, they have a bigger purpose, right? They want to show up. And so that is the quality. That's the kind of people that I am looking for. Now, I will preface that you might not see all of these qualities on the surface. You might not even see them on social media, or, if you're just kind of an acquaintance, you might not see these qualities. And sometimes this potential leader is truly a sleeping giant. I feel like that was me. I had the character, the integrity, but honestly, I was really in a space where I didn't have a lot of coachability. I didn't have a lot of influence. I had to press in and learn some of these qualities. I had to grow in some of these qualities, but that's the point is when I was given the opportunity, I chose to grow in it. Okay. So you might not always see them. They might be, some of these qualities might be dormant, but if they're willing to grow, that's what I'm looking for. Okay. So we are going to cast the seed of the business, of the opportunity. Tonight, we are talking all about the business, and we are going to cast the seed to absolutely everyone, but we are going to narrow down who we are looking for. You've heard the phrase, like, whatever you focus on expands. Okay. Kind of like when you're, like you're car shopping and you're looking for, like a year ago, we bought like a white, I don't even know what we have, a white Yukon, I think. I don't even know what car we have, a white Yukon. And when we went to the dealership, looked at it and thought about it for a few days. And in those few days, I really think every single car that I saw on the freeway was a white Yukon, because that's what I was thinking about. And so all of a sudden I noticed it. They were all around me. But before I had not, I mean, it was just scenery in my life because I wasn't thinking about a white Yukon. So these qualities here, that's why I wrote them out. And I would encourage you to actually, your qualities of a leader, like what you are looking for, may look a little different, and that's okay. Write out the qualities you are looking for. Because when you are thinking about it, when you are focused on those qualities, when you are focused on finding legacy leaders for your business, you're going to find them. You're going to see them because your eyes are open to who you are looking for, because they are already all there. I promise you, you have leaders, legacy leaders for your business all around you. It's just, we haven't quite narrowed down to focus on them and figured out how to call that out of them. Okay. So, one last thing on this, I want to also encourage you to look at this blueprint of qualities and hold it up to yourself. It is so, so important that we hold up qualities of the leader that we want to find right back at ourselves. Okay. I am looking for leaders that have these qualities, and I am also developing these qualities in myself. Okay. It is so, so important that we as leaders are full of character. We do the right thing even when no one is looking. We have integrity. We have coachability. I mean, you're on this training, so you've got coachability, right? Commitment. We are showing up for our customers. We are showing up for those who we are meant to serve. We are working on our influence. Okay. We are working on our trust in our relationships, and we are working on our self-motivation, because I will tell you, motivation comes and goes. Incentives every month, something's different. There's always a carrot dangling in front of us. That cannot be our business motivation. It has to come from something so much deeper. And so that's a continual area of growth that we all need to be really focusing on. So hold this up as a blueprint to yourself. Are you hungry? Are you willing to get uncomfortable? Are you willing to grow into the leader that others want to follow? Okay. So those are the qualities that that are important to me. And I would recommend, again, you to write down your qualities that you're looking for. But I wanted to share this with you because I think this is super important as we think about who you are meant to serve. Okay. Your unique passions and experiences have truly equipped you to serve a very specific audience, to add value, to show up, and to really be the bridge for a specific person, a specific audience. When you try to be all things to all people and please everyone, you actually water down the value that you are able to give. It's kind of like if you're trying to speak to everyone, you end up speaking to no one. So I want to encourage you to trust your gut, okay? To lean into this, that you have an audience that has a very specific problem, a very specific pain point that you are positioned to help, that you're called to help, that you're called to stand in the gap for. So again, you cannot be everything to everyone, okay? But you can be everything to someone. That is what we are here for in this business. We're not looking for a bunch of people to, to jump in and get, start sharing. We are looking for the few that are called to you, okay? I love this idea that, and you may have heard this before, but like in network marketing, we are not hunting. Okay, that's not what we're about. We're not out there in our camouflage with a weapon, tiptoeing around, sneaking around, trying to prey on our friends, right? That's not what we're about. Rather, have this idea that you are a fisherman, okay? So the fish are in the water and they are hungry. They are biting. The fish, there are certain areas that they gather in, right? Then you got to think about, there are certain types of fish even. There are the minnows. I know nothing about fish, but I know that there are minnows. I know there are like trout, there are bass, all those things. So specific type of fish gather in specific areas. And they also show up, they're hungry at certain times. So have this idea that you are simply a fisherman. You've got the bait that they are hungry for. They are ready to bite. They are looking for it. But sometimes we're not in the right space. We're not looking in the right place. Other times we don't know what we're looking for. So we just cast out the line and just hope and pray that something will catch. But I want to encourage you to think about, like, we need to get the right kind of bait, okay, to catch the right type of fish that we are looking for. So the bait that you would use to catch a minnow is very, very different than the bait that you would catch like a bass. I don't know. Is that a good fish to catch? I think so. But you would use different bait. You would go to where the bass congregate, right? Where they're at, where they've been biting, where they've last been seen. So think about, you are called to a very specific audience, a very specific group of people because of your experiences. Okay. For me, I feel very called to adoptive moms and moms of special needs and large family moms, because that is my experience. And I can serve that network and that audience because I can speak to them. They trust me because I am one of them, right? And because I'm investing, I'm showing up in that community. So another part of this is like knowing what we're trying to attract, the type of people, the type of leaders we're trying to attract, also means that you're going to repel the people you are not meant to serve. Okay. And that's okay. So don't worry about everyone else. We are going to narrow our focus on those we are meant to serve. Okay. So now that we know what kind of leader we are looking for, now that you have some confidence of who you are meant to serve and your own calling in this, right? Now it's, how do we go and find these legacy leaders? Okay. Kind of like, we're going and looking for, where are the fish that we are trying to find? Where are they? Hashtags. Okay. I will say this forever. Hashtags are still huge. And on Instagram, even on Facebook, using hashtags, it's so important still, because it narrows down that focus. It helps you connect with like-minded people. So what I recommend is finding 5 to 10 hashtags that your ideal leader would be using. Okay. So using those hashtags, and that's how you're going to find them, right? That's how you're going to connect with them. And remember, using that quality kind of blueprint, do they have the qualities, as you're looking and connecting with these people, do they have the qualities of the leader that you are looking for? Another avenue to find leaders is going to large brands, going to influencers on social media that kind of naturally, like the people that you are looking for would naturally congregate towards. Okay. It's kind of like they've already created this big pool for your ideal leader to gather. It's perfect. It's a perfect place. So the biggest thing is I would recommend finding five to 10 large brands or influencers for you to begin so it's not the brand or the influencer, it's their network, the people that are commenting and interacting on their post. That's where you're going to find people that are showing up, people that are excited, people that are in community and have connection. Okay. That's incredible. So looking in the comments and going on their profiles and finding people that are like-minded and that have some of those qualities. Okay. And the other area is groups. So this is perfect for Facebook. I love getting connected. So many of my customers and several of my leaders came from Facebook groups. Again, you've got to find the right group. And when you do, you keep your eye out for those qualities of leaders, and you're building relationships. But these online, offline groups, in fact, offline groups, I will tell you that's where your bread and butter is in-person connections. I have spent the last year focusing on in-person groups. And you guys, like, that's where all of my new customers and a new business builder is coming from, is these offline groups that, like-minded people are at. So thinking about that, I did want to share with you some examples for me personally. I hope that this helps understand as you're looking, like, where do I go to find these people? I know what I'm looking for, but where are they? So this is how I have mine broken down. And this is exactly what I've done, is I look at influencers or, and they're not necessarily influenced, but like authors and people that I follow that have a massive following. This is how I have found quite a few people that have become friends and I've built relationships with, and they've become customers, is by following like-minded people. And then we end up connecting in the comments, end up becoming friends. Hashtags. These are the hashtags that I have used for 7 years, and they're still going strong and still providing huge growth and expansion of my network. And then these are the online and offline groups that have helped me. Okay, so these are going to be some of your action steps. Okay, I want you to sit down and identify your ideal leader. Okay, who is the person that you want to build a legacy business with? I am a lifer with Plexus. I am here for life. That means that the people I am building with for life. So I want to like them. I want to enjoy, like, have an actual friendship with these people, right? That's how it's going to be sustainable, is by actually connecting and liking your leaders, right? So identify the qualities, the people that you want to work this business with. And in doing that, identify what their struggles are, what their pain points are in the business. Okay. For me, my ideal leaders. So for me, again, I am focusing on special needs parents, large family parents, ministry wives. Most of them have a massive financial need. Most of them are struggling because ministry is not paying their bills, or special needs. They are struggling under medical debt. They are struggling in all those areas financially. Adoptive parents, they're trying to figure out how in the world they're going to, cover the cost of their adoption or get out of debt, all of these things. So that is where I have identified my ideal leader's pain point with the business. Okay. So identify that. Why Why would your leader, this potential leader, why would they want the business? What is in it for them? You can get, in this, you can really think about like, well, maybe it's community. Maybe they want the business because they need community. Maybe they need purpose. Maybe it's not finances. What is the pain point of the person you are trying to serve? What is the pain point of that leader that you want to bring in? Okay. So it's not always financial. This business offers achievement. And for so many people, that is a huge, huge pain point. They feel like they don't have a purpose and they need some kind of achievement, something that they can be proud of. And so there's a lot of areas, but that is so important because when you know what your potential leader's pain point is, that's how you're going to begin speaking about the business. Okay. So I want to erase this notion that it's always about finances. It's not. For some people it is. Some people it's like, I am very passionate about getting out of debt. I want to help other families get out of debt. And that is what I'm going to share about in this business. Other families, it's other people are building a business based on community and connection. So there's so many things. I mean, I know like Rebecca Folks, she joined Plexus because she just wanted some fun shopping money, right? She just saw like a shopping spree that she could win a shopping spree. And she was like, yes, that's what drew her into the business. So there are a lot of different ways. So I identify that. Second one that I want you to do is identify your influencer brands. Okay. Write out, I would go for 5 to 10. Write them out. Okay. Have a piece of paper because I want you begin doing this as a part of your IPAs. Find those hashtags, find those groups. Okay. And then you are going to begin to systematically engage. Okay. That means that whatever you do to track engagement, mine's all over the place, but half the time I'm like on my notes because it's on my phone and on my computer, but track that engagement. Know who you're building relationships with, because if you don't, people fall through the cracks. And I want connection and community relationship building takes intentional focus. Okay. Be the type of leader that is pursuing relationships and really showing up for people. And that's going to take intention and that's going to take some organization. You know who you're reaching out to, how often, because you don't want to just reach out 1 or 2 times and then leave them hanging and they never hear from you again, right? So systematically engaging, building relationships, okay? So the whole goal in all of this, okay, you know the qualities that you're looking for. You're going to begin fishing for them. You're going where they are. You're going to look for them, okay? Your whole goal is building this right here. Know, like, and trust. Your content, and we're going to get to content in just a minute, but your content that you're producing, like your posts, your stories, that along with your personal messages, okay, your DMs, all of that, that is building this idea of, do they know you? Like, do they actually know you? Or are you hit and miss and you're just kind of showing up here and there, or your life is totally filtered and they don't see the real you, that kind of thing? Do they like you? Because again, they're not going to join you if they don't like you. You're not here to people please at all. The right people are going to like you. But that's what your content does, right? Like, are you a likable person or are you super offensive on social media? Are you, one of those people that when someone goes to their social media, it's like it repels everyone. It should repel some, the people that you're not meant to serve, but you don't want to be one of those that it's repelling everyone, right? So do they know you? Do they like you? And do they trust you? Because when you have this combination here, that's when they moved forward to the next step. Okay. So in this quote, or in this, it says, people will join you and they will build with you when they feel understood by you, not when they understand you. This is super, super important. Okay. It's this idea of be interested. Don't worry so much about being interesting. Our lives are not super interesting, most of us, right? But we can all care about what other people are going through. We can put ourselves as kind of in the gap for them. We can stand in the gap for them, and we can be the bridge. When someone feels pursued, when someone feels like, man, like this girl just keeps messaging me, or this girl keeps like commenting on my stuff, like she must really like mean what she says, right? So this is where I want you to think about with the leaders that you are searching for. It's about them. You're not trying to impress them. You're not trying to show them how awesome your business is. You're not trying to do any of that. It's about them, what they're going through, what their pain points are, what their struggles are. And you simply show them that you have the answer to their solution, right? We are not the heroes of their story. We're simply a guide that shows them how to solve their problem. Okay. So this is how we are building relationships. We are not about convincing them that network marketing is the best. We're not here to convince them that, that Plexus is the best. We are here to connect. And when we do that out of a sincere heart, people feel that and they let their guards down. Okay. And again, this last quote right here says, people buy into the leader, then the vision. So often we are out there, we've kind of got it backwards, where we're casting vision, we're telling them, we're making all the posts about the business, but that's kind of putting the cart before the horse. Nobody cares about your business, and nobody cares about how awesome Plexus is and how great your paycheck is and the shopping sprees and all of that. They don't care, because if they don't have a connection with you, they don't have a relationship with you, they don't buy into you yet. They don't have the know, like, and trust factor, then it's just white noise to them. So that is why we first focus on the relationship. Okay. We first focus on the person, not all the content. Okay. So this is super important, because in this day and age when social media is insanely, like, it's just chaotic, right? Social media, there's somebody selling something all the time, everywhere. And we have to break through the noise. And the way we break through the noise, the reason why Plexus is so successful is it's because we're not out here selling. We are out here truly caring about people and connecting. Okay. And that makes an absolutely huge difference. So after we have built relationships, after we have pursued and intentionally really sought to get to know the person, this is when casting the vision happens. Okay. This is when they begin to see the vision. So we know the qualities that we're looking for, but now we get to speak life into these people. And that is what casting vision is. Casting vision is simply showing someone what is possible for them. Okay. Most people are asleep at the wheel in their life. Most people are literally in survival mode, just going through the motions, right? They don't know what they don't know. They're just checking off the boxes every day and just making it through till, morning to night. They don't have passion in their life. They don't have purpose in their life. They're just kind of asleep at the wheel. But this is why vision casting is so exciting, because you get to step in and you get to shine a light to the world. and show them what is possible. You get to actually call out the potential in these people. And the only way you can call out their potential is because you have a relationship with them, right? Because we're not here to, give accolades and be like, oh, you're so great. You'd be great at this, even though you know nothing about them. No, when you have a relationship with someone, and you're building that relationship, you begin seeing the qualities that you're looking for. That's when you begin calling it out in them. Like character. If I see someone that has character, I'm like, I want you on my team. Like, and I explain like why I am looking for people with character, why I am looking for people with integrity and how they have that. And that is a foundational quality that I want in the leaders that I work with. So this is super important. Speaking life over and over and over. This is vision casting to your current customers, to your potentials, to your business builders, because most people do not have other people in their life speaking life into them, calling them up to growth, calling them up to greatness, right? Awakening the purpose in their life. So Matthew, in the book of Matthew, chapter 13, Jesus has this parable of a sower. And I want to read this to you because I think it's really, really, it really applies to what we're talking about. So it says in Matthew 13, that same day, I'm sorry, my kids are all coming home right now. That same day, Jesus went out of the house and sat by the lake. Such large crowds gathered around him that he got into a boat and sat in it while all the people stood on the shore. Then he told them many things in parables, saying, a farmer went out to sow his seed. As he was scattering the seed, some fell along the path, and the birds came and ate it up. Some fell on rocky places where it did not have much soil. It sprang up quickly, but because the soil was shallow, when the sun came up, the plants were scorched and they withered because they had no root. But other seeds fell among the thorns, which grew up and choked the plants. Still other seed fell on good soil, where it produced a crop, 160 or 30 times what was sown. And I just loved this as I was kind of thinking about like casting vision. This is what we're all about, right? We are here casting all these seeds out. And when Jesus, in this parable, only 25% of his seeds, hi, thank you, Poppy. 25% of his seeds actually took root and came to fruition. So when I was thinking about that, I was like, okay, like we are going to cast the seeds. We're going to do that. But knowing that a small portion, a quarter of those seeds are actually going to take root. And that's about what it is for our business, right? So I want you to confidently cast seeds, pour into people, but also know like the right people are going to take root and the right people are going to, the harvest is going to come. So think about casting vision as simply scattering seeds, okay? So we're going to get into some social media real quick. I have a few examples of some business posts that is casting vision. Okay. Again, you can cast vision in DMs and in messages, in your stories, and in your posts. There's a lot of different ways to do that, but we're going to just talk about just social media real quick because there's a law of attraction on social media. What you are putting out there is what you're going to return back with. So if you're just posting about the products, love the products. I mean, like we wouldn't have a business without our amazing products, but if you're just posting about the products or every once in a while, making a business post, then you look at your business and you probably have a lot of customers. Customers are the foundation of our business, but for us to see massive ripple effect, massive rank ups, massive impact, we have to be raising up leaders. Okay. And the way that we do that is by sharing about the business, being very bold, very confident about the business. Okay. Because what we put out, we will attract. Okay. So if we are going to put out and post about the business more, you will be finding people, you're going to have conversations about the business a whole lot more. Okay. Now, I actually lead with the business. Okay. I talk about the products, but I lead with the business. I talk about the business more than I talk about the products. And the reason why is I cast that vision because I'm looking for leaders, right? I'm looking for leaders. And in the midst of talking about the business, I also get customers because they're intrigued and they're learning about the products as I'm posting about the business. So know that it's a both and, but I really want to encourage you to have confidence in your business. You do not have to be a jewel to have an amazing business that's going to attract other people. In fact, as a silver ambassador, making $100, $200 a month, you guys, like that's life-changing for so many families. And so I want you to really come to this place of having confidence in where you're at. If your weekly paycheck helped, you got $25 on your weekly paycheck, you could take your family out and grab some pizza, right? For us, we did not take our family out to eat before Plexus. So that was something I shared about. I remember one of the first things I did with my paycheck was signed my daughters up for gymnastics. It was like $120 a month. That was life-changing for me. That was life-changing for my kiddos because we had never gotten to that opportunity because we didn't have the money for that. So wherever your business is at, don't look down upon that. Don't look down upon the impact and the power that you have right where you are at. Okay. So I want to share with you just a couple different business posts. Now, these are also all shared in our Post Ideas Facebook group. So you can take a screenshot, but they're also all posted there. And the reason why I'm giving you some examples is so that you can just see, like, posting about the business. It's not stuffy. It's not, it's more about like, talk about the freedoms, talk about the fun, talk about the community. There's so many ways to vision cast about the business. Okay. So, here, there's a few different slides, but what I love about this is like, some of them are talking about the like, do you want $400? Right? Like, yes, like that catches a lot of people's eye, right? Other ones where it's like, yes, like this one right here was super powerful. Community, encouragement, work from anywhere I want. I mean, it's just super simple, but it's casting vision, because when I look at that, I'm like, yes, I want a community that encourages me, right? So all of these posts are scattering those seeds, right? They are all casting the vision, and the right people are going to be watching these. So I would recommend posting about the business more frequently. For each of you, that might look a little different. If you do not currently post about the business and share things like this, I encourage you to make a post like that this week. I personally try to post about the business at least twice a week, sometimes more. And I mix it up sometimes in my stories, sometimes just in my posts, then always kind of talking about it in my messages. So there's a lot of different ways to cast the vision, but I just want to encourage you to do more, whether that's one time this week, or whether that's, going live or going on your stories and talking about it. Yes, and here's one more. And again, all of these are in post ideas. So you'll have those. Okay, so top tips as you are posting about the business is to give value. Okay, your audience, remember, it's about them. You are the one pouring out value, encouragement, you are interested in them. So teach something that about the business that adds value. So talking about the business, talking about inflation, how this business is helping your family with the gas prices and the food increases, all of that. So talk about that, give value about the business. Okay. Number 2, be a real person. This is actually one that I see a lot of people struggle with. They feel like when they talk about the business, all of a sudden they're like, I don't know. I feel like I have to be something I'm not. And you guys, people can see that a mile away. We are here to show up authentically about the business. Okay. So talk about time flexibility. I mean, literally today, I was talking to a friend and I got to go in the middle of the day to watch my daughter's preschool or kindergarten through 5th grade music show. And she was just talking about how stressed out she was because she's got to run right back to work and she's trying to email in the midst of it. And I just shared with her just a little bit about how I used to be in that grind. And I just gave her some encouragement in it. But you guys, be a real person. We're all, in this place where we can be vulnerable, be authentic, and be encouraging in that. The last thing is to speak to their heart. You know who you're talking to. You know what their pain points are, what their struggles are. Talk about those things. Because when you hit their pain points, they're going to listen. It's all of a sudden, you could be posting about all kinds of things community, how awesome all these prizes are that you won. And none of that matters to them if they are literally on food stamps and cannot buy their groceries. They could care less about that, right? So know who you're talking to and what their struggle is. Okay. Maybe you're talking to people that really, really, really are struggling with feeling like they have no purpose, feeling like they've lost themselves. So talking to them about the prizes and the trips and all the fun, that is something that they'll listen to, right? So just know your audience, know who you're talking to, and really speak to their heart. I am going to go through these objections super quick, because as you are vision casting, as you're having conversations about the business, as you're posting and just, if you're talking more about the business, you're going to be having more business conversations, which ultimately leads to business objections. Okay. So I'm going to go through these pretty fast, and I will post these also in our team page. So you can make copy, you can screenshot, or I'll get you the graphics. But I was going to go through real quick just some of the most common objections as you're talking about the business with people. Number 1, I don't have time. Too busy. And actually, this is probably the biggest one, because leaders are naturally busy people. Leaders by nature, they see a problem and they get involved. Normally, they're volunteering all the places, they're doing all the things. Leaders are very, very busy people. But what you want to do is you want to get down, kind of figure out what their objection is. Do they feel like, man, I just can't add one more thing to my plate? Or do they not see the value that we have to offer in this business? Okay. So here's some wording that you can share as you're talking about it. But really, it's just sharing with them, like, what does it actually look like? Are you like adding in 30 minutes a day, 15? Can I show you how to work this business in 15 or 30 minutes a day? That helps them overcome that objection. For some people, like I was a very busy person before Plexus, and I was like, there is no way that I have time for this. But what I saw when I saw the value of this business and what it could do for my family, I then replaced some of the things that I was busy with. I actually like stopped volunteering a little bit. I stopped like doing all the things because this was more important. So knowing what their actual objection is. The next one is, I don't have social media. I don't like social media. Maybe they're not even on it, or they rarely post. This is a fantastic way of really overcoming this objection by saying, like, I totally relate, or you remind me of my friend, and then come up with a story. Like Brooke Hemingway, she was not on social media very much. Becca, she on our team, she did not even have social media when she joined. So there's a lot of different stories of people that you can use, but talk about how this is truly, like, social media is simply a tool, right? There are a lot of people that have been very successful in this business without social media. I have a friend who is, she's a diamond, Melody, and she built the majority of her business from in-person meetings. So it is simply a tool. Small network. We've heard that a million times, right? But this is where, this is just usually a kind of an objection that's masked in a lack of belief in their self. And they just don't think they can be successful at it, right? And it's always like, oh, you're successful because you were popular or you had a lot of friends. But what they need to see is, stories about people like Brooke Hemingway, who had 400 Facebook friends when she joined, sharing things like that now that she earns 6 figures a month through building her network, and that this is simply a skill set that you can help teach them. Saturated market. So this is an objection that I've heard before, where people are like everybody I know talks about Plexus. Everybody I know does Plexus. There's no room for me, right? And so this is one that you can kind of help them to overcome by talking about, like, less than 3% of people in the United States have ever heard about Plexus. Talk about the opportunity in Mexico and in Canada and Australia and New Zealand, and that we are opening into new countries. It is so, so important to help them see what is possible. That's what casting the vision and overcoming objections is. You could talk about third-party validation. Celeste Gwynn, who is a double diamond, and she built her business in a very small town, and 9 diamonds have come out of a very, very small little private school. So they all had the same little network, right? They all had the same network. And you would think it would be a saturated market, but what happened was each of those people had their own networks, and then they also grew their networks through social media. So, so this is a way to overcome that. This one is, I've tried other MLMs and I have failed. So this, here's some wording that you can help them overcome that. Talk about how there are so many people on our team that have done other network marketing companies, failed at them, and then found success with Plexus, and the reasons why. Okay. Part of that is that our products are for everyone, right? Our products are consumable. Every month they have to be ordered. That's a game changer. Most network marketing companies do not have that. So that's not residual income. For us, it is. So that's a huge reason why we have success. And my favorite is, I think we have the very best team, but we have resources and community and support that a lot of people don't have, and that makes everything, like, that's a game changer. So there is that to overcome. The next one is, I don't want to have anything to do with an MLM. I don't want to be that girl. And that's just a lack of belief in network marketing. A lot of people just don't understand what network marketing is. Or maybe they've had a really bad experience, or they've seen friends have bad experiences. So you just share with them, a little bit of the feel, felt, found method that, like, that was my thing, like big time. Did not want to do network marketing, but just talk about the beautiful things that you've seen now. Like this one, I can totally relate to this. I never wanted to be in network marketing because I had a really poor experience. But now, having studied the industry, I know it now, why it's one of the fastest growing on the planet. I'm so proud to be a professional network marketer. It has allowed me to be a stay-at-home mom, and provide an income for my family. The impact opportunity to help people feel better, feel their best self, and find freedom in their finances is really the best. These products and the heart of our company aligns with mine. And then you can kind of go a little bit more into it. But that really is the way that I combat that, because I have this objection quite often. Not a salesperson. And I actually say amen when someone has that objection, like, praise God, you are not a salesperson, because salespeople are not going to find success if they're just pushing product. Okay. And that's not what we're about here. And I love to use, again, like, I felt the same way, but what I found, and just really talk about the heart of service. So I'm going through these pretty fast. Again, I'll have the graphics up for you. But this one is, I need to have my own results first. And this one is very, very common, but I think that when you show them that it's about inviting people into a journey, it is so, so important, and that you don't have to have it all figured out, right? Like, you invite them, you're working on your journey, and you're inviting them in. The last one is, I'm an introvert. I couldn't do what you do. And I laugh because I am the biggest introvert of all. And I hear this one all the time, and they're like, wait, you're an introvert? And I'm like, I am. But I think talking about the different personalities, there lots of introverts, lots of extroverts, different color personalities, Enneagram numbers, all the things. But what it is I actually turn this on its head. I actually think introverts have an incredible advantage in this business, because they are often very perceptive, and they can read the room. They can feel like what's going on with people. And they often have very deep relationships. They might not have tons of relationships, but they have very deep relationships. So they're actually very people focused. So I kind of turn this on their heads and help them to see, like, man, this is, being an introvert is actually a huge bonus. Okay, guys, so I kind of flew through that at the very end. If you've got questions, please feel free to ask your questions. This is something that leadership duplication, it's about knowing the qualities of the type of leader you are looking for. Then you are going to find them. They're all over the place, friends. People are looking for this business. Okay. They just don't know it sometimes. Sometimes you have to be the one to tell them, but they're looking for it. There are people that are hungry for this. So as you are a fisherman, you are going out to find the type of legacy leader that is going to do life with you and build a legacy business. And as you do that, you're going to begin having more business conversations. You're going to be talking about the business. You are going to be casting vision you're just going to be casting it wide, scattering the seeds. And as you do that, you will have objections. And I hope that some of these are helpful as you overcome them, but do not be afraid of objections. Do not be afraid of having those conversations, because an objection is simply an opportunity for you to help that person overcome. I was thinking about it earlier as like, okay, we're scattering these seeds, but for a seed to take root, it actually has to be buried first. It actually has to like literally feel like it's going into darkness, and it has to go down dark. And you are watering it. You're providing the sunlight. So those objections that people have, it feels hard sometimes, but you are the one that gets to give them water. You're the one that gets to give them light. You're the one that shows them the way, right? So don't be afraid of objections. Don't be afraid of talking about the business. Okay. You were created and called to show the way, to be the light, and to be that ripple effect for people. So I hope that that you walk away from this with some more confidence in building your business, because they are out there. The people that you are meant to build with are out there. A lot of times it's our mindset that keeps us from going to that space and really truly looking for those people. Because we cannot just post and pray that they're going to see it. Because like I said, if you don't have that relationship, that they're not going to see the vision. So people first. Add value, love on them, and cast vision simultaneously. So, all right, I went a little over, so sorry. But I hope that this was helpful. Love you guys. All right.